Seattle Seahawks fans, I don't know about you, but it feels like the energy is finally shifting as training camp approaches on July 24th. We are looking at legitimate roster uncertainty as veteran jobs for Anthony Bradford, Tai Okada, and Uchenna Nwosu are officially in jeopardy due to new competition. It is fascinating to see how the front office is pushing for depth, and there are two things we need to break down: the specific depth chart threats and what these potential roster moves mean for our championship window. The more details surface, the harder it is to ignore the competition. Smash that like button, subscribe, and drop your name and city in the comments below, because we are a brand new channel pushing toward our first 1,000 subscribers. And every single person who joins this community helps us keep going. Let's get into it. The title defense for our Seattle Seahawks officially kicks off this week as veterans report for training camp on July 24th. While rookies have been acclimating, the real work begins when the entire roster gathers under the guidance of head coach Mike Macdonald. Despite the departures of notable players like Kenneth Walker, Kobe Bryant, and Boy Mayfield in free agency, this team remains loaded with talent. However, every season brings fresh scrutiny to our depth chart, and this summer is no exception. We are closely monitoring 3 specific roster spots where veterans could see their jobs taken by hungry challengers. Anthony Bradford is under the microscope after his 50.6 grade from Pro Football Focus highlighted his struggles at right guard. He now faces competition from 5th-round draft pick Bo Stevens, who brings massive potential from Iowa. Meanwhile, at safety, Tai Okada must defend his starting spot against the impressive ball-hawking skills of 2nd-round pick Bud Clark, who recorded 15 interceptions over his last 4 collegiate seasons. This is where it gets real, especially when looking at the edge position. Uchenna Nwosu, who provided 35 tackles and 7 sacks last season, is feeling the heat after the team signed Dante Fowler Jr. and extended the contract of Derek Hall. Fowler remains a perfect fit for the defensive scheme according to Michael Hanich of Seahawks on SI, adding significant pressure to the veteran rotation. The fan base is understandably anxious because these camp battles represent the thin line between a championship repeat and an early exit. While we trust the front office to make the right calls, we are left wondering how these individual position struggles might fundamentally alter the chemistry of our pass rush and overall offensive line stability once the regular season games begin in earnest. The most shocking reality facing our roster this summer is that Uchenna Nwosu, a staple of our defensive front, finds his starting role in serious jeopardy despite his productive 2025 campaign. We watched him register 35 tackles and 7 sacks last season, but the front office clearly decided that past production does not guarantee future security in Mike Macdonald's system. This situation stems from a deliberate strategy to overhaul the defensive rotation, characterized by the aggressive addition of Dante Fowler Jr. and a firm commitment to Derek Hall. While Fowler only recorded 3 sacks for the Dallas Cowboys in 2025, his 30 pressures and impressive 77.6 grade from Pro Football Focus reveal why he fits this scheme so perfectly. The coaching staff is undoubtedly prioritizing scheme versatility over tenure, viewing this competition as a way to maximize pressure rates that lacked consistency last year. It reminds us of previous transitions where established veterans were pushed by hungry new arrivals, forcing everyone to elevate their performance just to remain on the field. And honestly, it is a testament to the high standards Jody Allen expects from this organization after our recent Super Bowl success. The front office knows that standing pat often leads to complacency, so they are manufacturing internal pressure to ensure we remain a top-tier contender. Behind closed doors, leadership likely views Nwosu as a valuable piece, yet they are unafraid to bench him if Fowler or Hall proves more efficient at disrupting the quarterback. We have seen this disciplined approach work wonders in the past, where the depth chart becomes a fluid document rather than a fixed hierarchy. As we approach training camp, keep a close watch on how the snaps are divided during these sessions, because the shift in personnel philosophies suggests that no veteran is truly safe from being surpassed by a more scheme-aligned teammate. With the preseason looming, we must look beyond the simple arrival dates and examine what this competition means for our depth chart. And here is why that is a big deal as we prepare to defend our title. The stakes are quite high because Mike Macdonald needs to identify his strongest starters before we face high-stakes opponents. We have genuine concerns at right guard with Anthony Bradford, whose 50.6 grade from Pro Football Focus suggests he is vulnerable to a challenge from 5th-round pick Bo Stevens. Similarly, Ty Okada faces immense pressure from rookie Bud Clark, a true ball hawk who grabbed 15 interceptions over 4 seasons. If these younger players outperform our veterans, we will see immediate shifts in our rotation that could fundamentally alter our defensive packages. This roster flexibility is essential because it impacts how we match up against the speed of division rivals who are hungry to take our crown. Having depth ensures that we are not overly reliant on one player if an injury occurs during the grueling regular season. Furthermore, the defensive end situation is particularly fluid. With the addition of Dante Fowler Jr., who earned a 77.6 grade from Pro Football Focus, and the contract extension for Derek Hall, Uchenna Nwosu must prove he still belongs in the primary rotation. If these veterans lose their starting jobs during the summer, our overall standing in the NFC West remains strong, but the internal chemistry of this group will look entirely different. We are transitioning toward a more competitive environment where past production is no longer a guarantee of future playing time. By fostering this type of aggressive internal competition, we improve our chances of making another deep postseason run while ensuring our salary cap is used effectively on the most productive athletes currently wearing the Seattle uniform. The competition for roster spots this season will define our success as Seattle Seahawks fans, particularly on the offensive line and at the defensive edge. Replacing veterans with rising talent like Bo Stevens at guard offers the massive upside of developing a long-term foundation for our offensive identity. However, the downside remains that relying on a 5th-round rookie during his first preseason could lead to inconsistency and protection breakdowns against seasoned defensive fronts. Analysts and observers are closely monitoring this transition, noting that both Anthony Bradford and Uchenna Nwosu faced legitimate threats to their starting roles. While Nwosu had a productive campaign with 7 sacks, the signing of Dante Fowler Jr. from the Dallas Cowboys adds a proven pressure specialist to our rotation. And I'll be straight with you, there is a clear tension between honoring past veteran production and embracing a new defensive philosophy under Mike Macdonald. The way I see it, the narrative suggesting Nwosu is in serious jeopardy might be slightly overblown given his solid 35-tackle performance last year. While Fowler earned a 77.6 grade from Pro Football Focus and fits the scheme well, Nwosu has already proven his reliability in our colors. We also see this pressure building in the secondary, where Ty Okada must hold off TCU standout Bud Clark. Clark recorded 15 interceptions over 4 seasons, bringing an undeniable ball-hawking instinct that makes him a dangerous challenger for the starting safety position. The depth we are cultivating is exactly what a championship team needs, but managing these internal battles requires a delicate touch from the coaching staff. It is not just about finding the best individual talent, but ensuring the unit functions as a cohesive whole once the regular season kicks off. We will see how these preseason reps shift the momentum before the final roster is set for our upcoming title defense. When we look at the immediate roster turnover alongside the broader strategy of building a sustainable championship contender, it becomes clear that the Seattle Seahawks are prioritizing internal competition to ensure high performance across every position. This approach signals a franchise direction focused on maintaining a standard of excellence by forcing veterans to prove their worth against hungry new talent. Fans should feel confident heading into the season because this calculated pressure creates a culture of accountability that prevents complacency. The organization is betting on depth and adaptability rather than relying on past production alone. And that changes everything as we transition into the heat of training camp. With key contributors like Anthony Bradford, Ty Okada, and Uchenna Nwosu facing legitimate challenges from Bo Stevens, Bud Clark, and Dante Fowler Jr., every snap during the preseason carries weight. We are watching the evolution of a team that refuses to settle, even while coming off a Super Bowl victory. This level of internal competition is exactly what defines a winning culture in the modern NFL. It shows that Mike Macdonald is looking for the best possible version of this unit, regardless of who has been on the field before. The reality is that the depth chart is far from set in stone, and that is a positive development for our championship aspirations. I want to know where you stand on the most heated battle we discussed today. Between Anthony Bradford and the rookie Bo Stevens, which player do you believe will secure the starting right guard position when the regular season kicks off? If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. We are still pushing toward our first 1,000 subscribers, and every one of you helps us get there. Go Hawks! I'll see you in the next one.